This is the digital gateway. It's driven by 15 special short throw projectors, as well as 45 different infrared sensors that pick up body heat as people walk through the corridor, and it's that energy and movement that actually makes the corridor run, so to speak.
How does this compare in size to other digital interactive walls, or is there a measure for that?
Well, the corridor is 110 feet long, and certainly for this type of interactivity, while there certainly is not a Guinness Book of World Records type entry to compare it to, it's certainly one of the longer ones you're going to find in the world.
So what happens as we walk through this display?
Every time a sensor picks up somebody walking by it, it tells the next screen ahead to tell a story. And those stories are always randomly generated, so we don't actually know which one comes next. So whether we're talking about mining and that whole story of mountains to metals that we can tell here in British Columbia, whether we're telling the story of advanced manufacturing and hydroelectric power and in this case sort of an aluminum wheel manufacturing plant, whether we're telling the story of hydrogen fuel cells and the whole fuel cell transit fleet that we just announced last week. We'll tell them stories about big science and little science, whether we're talking about atoms or whether we're talking about the universe itself and what our research institutions are doing in those fields.
Now, how are we triggering this by walking through?
This is 45 infrared sensors that we have hidden into the wall. So every time someone walks through, it tells the computer system that's in behind it, somebody's moving along. And the more people we have, the more stories it's going to tell, because it'll be triggering those sensors much more often.
Well, I think the most important thing that this wall does is it gives a very interactive and a very eye-catching view of the different industries that comprise British Columbia. This one has to do with hydroelectricity, which then you see the waterfall cascading into the reels of the movie industry. And if you go to this one here, you know, it obviously starts out with a bit of a science focus, astronomy. You see some of the higher end of sciences. And it just keeps evolving and evolving, and this is meant to elicit questions on the part of the people who are moving through here, who are going to be accompanied at all times by one of the VVIP hosts of the BC Showcase. That will give them the opportunity to say, well, wait a minute, explain this to me. Why do I see a big hydroelectric dam? And that gives us the opportunity to, you know, basically explain that British Columbia is an energy powerhouse to the world when it comes to clean energy supply, and it elicits a conversation or a question that then invites them to ask more about that particular fact, and hopefully lead to conversations which would lead to additional investment and opportunity for British Columbians.
You can really tell whatever story you want, and the way it's set up, the stories could change should they want to change them in the future. So for the impact of this is that space will change, environments can change. And
so this can be tailored to the person that's walking by? Well,
it could be. Right now we've got 18 sector stories of the West digitally programmed, but yes, if they wanted to add stories or subtract them, it's just a case of changing the programs.
So I could be walking down Robson Street
Yes.
and have an ever-changing vignette unfolding on the walls.
Absolutely. And you could have them, we're hoping to have them in for instance, you could have them in your umbrella. Technology exists that your umbrella could change as you walk down Robson Street. You could have your personality projected in umbrellas, in the inside of your umbrella. So
I'm ordering one of those right away.
Okay, you'll be first in line. We're playing with that right now. So and restaurants, digital tables you could select your mood with the person you're eating with and say, look, we're in kind of a blue romantic mood right now, or you know, this is a sunny kind of girls' night out. So and you could program your table to convey that. So it's a brave new wonderful world of digital.